This is the Shy Ride Show brought to you by none other than the Englewood Enterprise Gallery. I'm your host, Mr. Medina, also known as Brother Medina, from the Englewood Enterprise Gallery, and thank you for joining us. It's always a pleasure. 6 o'clock, sometimes 6:01, you know who's counting. Wednesdays at 6 p.m. It's such a pleasure to be here and a blessing with so much turmoil and all types of crazy stuff going on around us, and people trying to blow things up and people shooting at each other on the expressway, which are unfortunate things. But that's why the Englewood Enterprise Gallery is here, because one of the things that we love to constantly promote is we look at art and creativity is a way of dealing with our problems, and that's one of the things that we promote at the Englewood Enterprise Gallery. Sometimes people need creative therapy so that they can engage in art instead of beat somebody up. You know, they can engage in art instead of going and shooting somebody because they're upset. They can paint a beautiful picture or portrait instead of trying to commit acts of mass carnage, you know. But art does a lot of powerful things for the body, the spirit, and the mind, and that's what we promote at the Englewood Enterprise Gallery. Located at 7039 South Wentworth Avenue, Englewood Enterprise Gallery at gmail.com is our email address if you want to send us an email. Also, you can check out our website at www.englewoodenterprisegallery.com. That's englewoodenterprisegallery.com. Once again, I'm your host, Mr. Medina, also known as Brother Medina, and it's a pleasure to be here. So, a lot of important things going on around us. Today's show is going to be kind of an open format. I would also like to start out the show, I mentioned this last week, saying rest in peace to Beauty Turner. You know, Beauty was a hero of mine and of many people. She was also a CAN TV producer, and she's part of the reason why I'm involved with CAN TV and other people that I know. She showed us the importance of having a voice and delivering your voice to the people to address the things that you feel are important, you know, and speak on things that relate to you. Also be a part of the solution and not the problem. So, you know, Beauty Turner, very important figure, founder of the Ghetto Gallery, also known as Beauty's Ghetto Gallery and Beauty's Ghetto Tour, where Beauty would take people around, as some people like to say, the hood, you know, or also known as the projects, which are here no more. They were torn down as part of the Plan for Transformation introduced by the CHA, and they displaced thousands of people and hundreds and thousands of families all over the city. So that was one of the things that Beauty was about telling the story of public housing and the need for access to housing among poor people. And it's important that we all remember that that there's always somebody out there that's less fortunate than we may be. And, you know, we have to be mindful of that all the time. So also, something very special going on today that I would love to share with all of our viewers out there today. I'm going to do a little something different. Actually, it's a surprise, and I will tell you more about it after I play this quick video. The Englewood Enterprise Gallery, one of our major projects that we do regularly, is called the Youth Business Network, and we always like to brag on the positive and productive things that our young people that engage in that program do and produce, some of which were youth entrepreneurship modules that they completed. They engaged in a manufacturing process where they learned how to create something. They learned the economics behind the product that they created, and they got the opportunity to engage in marketing and promotion, as well as tracking their products. That's just one program that we did this summer at the gallery. We also gave them the opportunity to, this past summer, to create their own short film. They used the cameras, they put together the treatment, they put together the the shots, they did the audio, they did the editing, they did the scripts, they did just about everything. And we are very proud of their great work at the gallery. So quickly, I just want to play a little video, which I love to play videos of the awesome things that we have going on at the Englewood Enterprise Gallery. And feel free to call in at 312-738-1060 if you were somebody who knew Beauty Turner or knew of the great work that she did, or if you can appreciate art and the great things that we do at the Englewood Enterprise Gallery, give us a call. Meanwhile, check this out and let me know what you think. Give them the business, as I like to say. Give them the business. What does that mean? You know, a lot of times we go to school and we're raised up to believe that, hey, you got to be the best that you can be so that your boss will give you a promotion and you'll move up the ladder and this and that. And that's good, you know, but it's also good to give young people, our own children, our friends, our family, give them stronger concepts of business. I got a personal motto that I like to share. If you ran your life like you ran a business, then you will run your life much better. You know, financially, time management, organization, communication, how to avoid communication barriers, you know, how do you build relationships, how to be diplomatic, how to be compromising. All of these are interpersonal skills that we have to learn in order to be able to work for somebody or in order to be able to be a better person and a better leader. And those are some of the things that our young people learned at the Englewood Enterprise Gallery. They also learned leadership, decision making. Some of them learned how to create a spreadsheet. A basic business concept that is a technological tool that can help advance any business. If somebody is running a business and they're not using a spreadsheet or a spreadsheet-based application, they might as well just be writing with pencil and paper. But it's aspects of technology that are out there like this that help make businesses and business people more effective. So why not give our young people the business? Show them at a young age some effective ways that they can be better operators in what they're doing, better listeners, be people that can better apply the knowledge and the skills that they may have. So that was a program where we were showing our young people manufacturing, merchandising, and things of that nature. And maybe just a small portion of what they learned that summer can help them throughout the rest of their life. Once again, we are the Englewood Enterprise Gallery, located at 7039 South Wentworth Avenue, Chicago, Illinois, of course. You can reach us at our email address at enterprisegallery@gmail.com. That's enterprisegallery@gmail.com. And also feel free to like us on Facebook, and reach out at Englewood Enterprise Gallery on Facebook. That's Englewood Enterprise Gallery. And you can follow us on Facebook and find out all the new and interesting things that we have going on. Also, you know, this is just some more work that we are doing at the gallery, one of our public art projects that we love to engage in, you know, so we like to show the people some of the great things that we have going on at the gallery. So I got a special treat today, and I had a guest that I was not able to get into the studio today, so I'm going to attempt one of the first ever attempts, I think, here at CAN TV, all right, to do a virtual interview. Yes, I said it, a virtual interview. I got a very important guest that is a good friend of mine and a very powerful person. He is actually a forensics anthropologist, right? He's a forensics anthropologist, and he's actually one of the few African-American forensics anthropologists that are out there. We had him on the show maybe a couple years ago, but in the last couple of years, so much has gone on in the forensics community that I thought it was important that I invite him back to tell us all the great things that are going on in the areas of anthropology, forensics anthropology, and archaeology. He is one of the few people, if not the only person, that went out to find the remains of Jean-Baptiste du Sable. Yes, I said it. The remains of Jean-Baptiste du Sable, the true father of Chicago. All right. So, true father and founder of Chicago. So this gentleman is a very heavy gentleman. He is at the top of his profession in this field, and I'm going to see if this first ever video transmission will go down. I'm already having a technical difficulty, but I'm gonna get it straight. Meanwhile, my guest name is Mr. Jihad Muhammad, Dr. Jihad Muhammad, and Dr. Muhammad is engaged in so many awesome things. Let me see if he's gonna pick up the line so that we can conduct this interview, because I'm very interested in hearing what Dr. Muhammad has been doing lately. Dr. Muhammad.
Yeah, I'm here, brother.
All right, can you hear me all right?
I do.
Yes, sir. Well, welcome to the Shy Rise Show, and thank you for joining us once again, my brother. I was just telling the people just a little bit about your background and all the awesome stuff that you are doing in the areas of forensics anthropology. So
Okay.
I'm going to give you a big hand and much respect, a personal friend of mine as well as a mentor to many all over the nation. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, Dr. Muhammad, I like to go back and then come forward, if that's all right with you, to kind of build the people up, just to give them a little bit of your background and to let them know where you are now and all the heavy stuff that you engaged in, my brother.
Oh, quite all right, brother. Go
Yes,
ahead.
sir. So I was telling them that you graduated at the top of your class in the area of, it was medical science forensics.
Yes, sir.
Maybe you can tell me more about that. Huh?
Yes, back in the late 60s, 69, I entered into the University of Illinois as a student in medicine, and gradually moved over into the forensic component of that. And out of that came medical illustration for me. So I illustrated quite a few medical textbooks and technical books in the sciences, and began to apply those same skills that we had acquired through my studies there, and apply them to forensic anthropology.
Yes.
And by doing so, at that time, we could began to answer some of the questions that plagued us for a long time in terms of identity.
Yes.
And from which we come, where did we come from, and how did we get here? So those questions could be somewhat given an answer through the forensic and the scientific component of what we do anthropologically. And so we set out to begin to apply those skills to some of the anthropological work that we began to do based on the forensic work. And that was the Jean-Baptiste du Sable anthropological excavation in Missouri.
Yes.
That was in 2000. And from there, we have moved all the way down to Louisiana, working our way out of Haiti.
Yes.
In terms of tracing those historic footsteps of those ancestors that came before, that we don't know, but now we can begin to identify them by name and by biological structure through the DNA.
Hey, Dr. Muhammad, that's interesting because I don't hear, if I gather what you're saying, you know, you are looking at the African genealogy from a Haitian perspective and the connection of many of our African Americans that are here in North America and the connection with Haiti. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. That is correct. That is correct. We focus on the Delta region of the United States, which is that marker, the Mississippi River and the basins of the Mississippi River. Those communities that was established through the process, bringing in our forefathers out of Haiti into the Delta region in terms of clearing the land and working in mines and so forth. But prior to the purchase of the Louisiana Purchase, they were bringing in Haitians in the Mississippi Delta Basin. And that's where my work began.
Yes, sir.
In tracing those burial grounds all throughout the Mississippi Delta. And the beauty of that is that many times we have identified African burial grounds, and it had great value at the time, 10, 15 years ago. But now we have not been able to move forward. And at this moment, we are moving forward a team of scientists, and we just presented our findings in the burial ground and what are we going to be doing after we find these burial grounds. And so that's what the conference was about in our presentation at this year's 112th American Anthropological Association in Washington.
The American Anthropological Association. All right, so that's a national association of archaeologists and people involved in anthropology.
Yes, that's it's quite a huge, broad subjects that they deal with, but that is the basic of it. Is the anthropological finding and research that is being done. But of course, ours is special. We specialize in the African burial grounds. And so we're looking at a whole component of that. How do we do that work beyond just finding the burial ground? And what do these burial grounds, what is the benefit of them once we find them? And so I think that is the next milestone that we have to conquer in terms of turning the things that is happening now in unemployment. We can begin to create jobs based on those burial grounds that we are now turning into destinations.
Yes.
As tourist sites.
Yes. So now, if I understand you correctly about burial grounds and destinations, number one, I know that you have worked with burial grounds, and certain types of burial grounds are able to be protected by federal law. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, you know, all of them will be protected by federal laws, but what we want to focus on is the African progenital burial grounds, because they offer so much for the descendants of those who came from the loins of these great men and women. And so we look at this as a special component of anthropological work. And we believe that the ancestors, our ancestor, bequeathed us, those in the science, to have an obligation to go just beyond finding them and exploring the opportunity to say that we have these burial ground, but don't do anything for the benefit of those who never gotten justice while he was living. We have the obligations to go just beyond just the burial ground, but they have now become treasures for not only the Americans, but especially for those blacks who still live in those diaspora communities that were settled by those early Haitians and who came and toiled the soil and built, capitals.
Yes.
And ran governments all throughout the Delta area during the Reconstruction. So we highlight those people because we can name them now, and of course the burial grounds is still in those first settlements that now can become tourist destination with the proper recording of the history as we tell history.
Man, Dr. Muhammad, I got a lot of honor and respect. Your work is very respectable and honorable in what you do, because you don't run across people that are accessible in that way, that are committed to us being able to tell our story. I was just talking about highlighting other important people that engage in the work of us being able to tell our story and continue to enlighten the world of who we are from our own mouths, as opposed to us having to rely on others to tell our story. I hate to have to cut our conversation short, Doc, but I'm going to definitely follow back up with you. But they're going to be kicking me up out of the studio office in a minute. But I'll definitely be in tune with you, sir. And we'll be waiting for more positive updates in the work that you're doing.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Anytime.
Yes, sir. All right. Thank you. Once again, wow, that was first ever done virtual interview from what I was told, here at CAN TV Studios. It's always an honor. That was a great man by the name of Dr. Jihad Muhammad, forensics anthropologist and an archaeologist who engages in the preservation of burial grounds related to slave burial grounds, free blacks, and other historic locations. Once again, we are the Englewood Enterprise Gallery, located at 7039 South Wentworth Avenue. Our website address is EnglewoodEnterpriseGallery.com. That's EnglewoodEnterpriseGallery.com. And you can always send us an email at enterprisegallery@gmail.com. That's enterprisegallery@gmail.com. One more time, got one more video for you. I know it's almost time for us to get off the air. They're telling me to wrap it up, but I'm gonna let y'all check this out before I wrap it up. They're gonna have to drag me out of here. Operation Bookbox, the Masterpiece Project. We're looking for people to get involved. They're about to cut my mic off, but reach out to us on our email address. Promoting literacy. We spread book boxes and book exchanges all around the city and the world. We sending them to the moon. Oh, okay. All right. I'm back. Thank you for joining us, the Englewood Enterprise Gallery Sunrise Show. I'm your host, Brother Medina, and it's been a pleasure. Be safe and good night.